The man in the saddle is angular and long-legged. The gun in his holster is gray steel, its handle unmarked. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Starbuck with Antiquity Radio. Those are the opening lines to The Six Shooter. That was a weekly radio series that was written by American screenwriter Frank Burt. It first aired on the NBC radio on September 20th, 1953. The series only lasted for one season and only produced 39 episodes, but is a fantastic Western of its time. The show featured the story of Britt Ponsett, who was, of course, played by American stage actor Jimmy Stewart. He played a cowboy from the Wild West. The show was known for Stewart's whispered narration, particularly during the intense scenes. The writer believed that this would be helpful in making the scene more dramatic. Other stars that appeared on the show were Parley Bayer, Harry Bartell, William Conrad, Virginia Gregg, Howard McNear, Marvin Miller, Jeanette Nolan, Dan O'Herlihy, and Alan Reed. And this first episode was an audition program. In it, Britt forces the sheriff to go after a robber, even though the wounded crook may be the sheriff's son. Thanks so much for tuning in to Antiquity Radio. I really hope you enjoy our Western Wednesday. Do keep in mind that these archive shows are going to be going up on YouTube, so make sure to listen to them there again. And thanks so much again for listening. This is Starbuck. I'll be back with you after the show.
James Stewart as the Six Shooter. The man in the saddle is angular and long-legged. His skin is sun-dyed brown. The gun in his holster is gray steel and rainbow mother-of-pearl. The handle unmarked. But the gun has killed and the man has killed. People call them both the Six Shooter. Presenting one of the screen's favorite stars, Mr. James Stewart as the Six Shooter. Based on the timeless legend of Britt Ponsett, the Texas plainsman who brought single-handed justice to the Western Territories.
I had figured on going through Clay City. It was an hour out of my way, and I was already a day late to the Jefferson Ranch where I'd signed on for the roundup. But when Scar started limping from a loose shoe, didn't have no choice. We had to head to the nearest blacksmith shop, so we turned north.
Howdy, mister. What's trouble?
The horse losing a shoe.
Well, let's have a look. All right, raise it up, fella. Come on, boy. Split, mister. He needs a new one. Okay, boy.
Can you take care of it?
Oh, sure. Bring him over here.
Hey, what happened to Red? The fella used to own this shop.
Went to Nevada chasing silver. I bought him out.
Yeah, you don't look very much like a blacksmith, huh?
Oh, I'm stronger than I look. Heavier, too. What do you think I weigh, mister?
Oh, I don't know.
Go on. Take a guess. 120? 30?
Well, no more than that.
You a betting man, mister?
Well, sometimes.
Well, I say I weigh over 130. If I don't, you get the new shoe for nothing. If I do, you pay me double. What do you say?
You got a set of scale?
Don't need no scale. What do you say, mister? Is it a bet?
Well, don't seem to be no way of proving it.
All you got to do is lift me up. You look like a man who can judge weight. What do you say?
Okay, all right, it's a bet.
All right, mister, just heist me. If you don't think I weigh more than 130, the shoe is free.
All right, I never tried to judge a man's weight before, but all right. There we go.
Well?
Oh, I'll be dogged.
I'm packed solid, mister. Real solid.
You're packed tighter than a steer. You must weigh 150 pounds.
Yeah, you see? What did I tell you? 158. The horseshoe's going to cost you money, mister, but you ain't the only one. Ever since I bought the shop, there ain't been a stranger come through Clay City but what he paid double for his first horseshoe. You ain't sore, mister?
No, that was a fair bet.
Sure it was. I told you I was heavier than I look. That's what folks call me, Heavy Norden. My real name's George, but everybody calls me Heavy. What's your name, mister?
Ponsett. Britt Ponsett.
Fella they call the Six Shooter? Doggone it. I've heard about you, mister. I've sure heard about you. Oh, would have recognized you if I'd have noticed your gun. Sure is fancy, ain't it? Hey, do you mind showing it to me?
No. Here, catch.
Hey, real fancy. Just like Sheriff Schofield said. He says he's seen you fire 6 shots with it while Whitey Jackson was getting off his first bullet, that time down at Eagle.
Well, the sheriff kind of likes to build up a story.
Oh, he swears it's the truth. Here's your gun, Mr. Ponset. Thanks.
Sure.
You was mighty quick in getting into Clay City. How'd you hear about it so fast?
Well, to hear about what?
The holdup at the Fargo station last night. Ain't that why you come?
Nope. No. I was headed past town. I turned off because Scar got that loose shoe.
Well, now, ain't that a coincidence? Fellow holds up the Fargo office, kills 1 man, maybe 2, gets away with $5,000, and 12 hours later, you ride into town.
Well, they got any idea who did it?
Nope, not a single solitary one, from what I hear. Like I say, the deputy agent was dead when they found him. Other fella, Fred Wilmer, a friend of his, got shot up pretty bad. Ain't done no talking yet. Doc says maybe he never will.
Did Sheriff Schofield take out a posse?
Nope, ain't nobody to go. Most of the men signed up for the Jefferson Roundup. Left town day before yesterday. Here, the Jefferson Ranch is paying good money this year.
Yeah. You seen the sheriff this morning?
No, not lately. Might be over to his office.
I think I'll walk down that way while you're fixing up Scar.
Sure, Mr. Ponset. That's a darn good idea. Sheriff Schofield will be real glad to see you.
A couple of doors this side of the sheriff's office, I saw the Wells Fargo sign nailed up next to a window. The place wasn't locked, so I went inside. One of the sheriffs was upset, and there was some damp stains on the floor. The cast iron safe against the wall was standing wide open, so I kicked it shut. Went out in the back stoop. There was some more blood on the steps, and then just red mud. Right at the edge, I saw the hoof prints. They trailed off along the side of the creek. Whoever made them headed west. The horse had been wearing 1 shoe different from the other 3. A sharp rock must have cut into it sometime or other. Not enough to split it, you understand, just enough so that the print left a jagged line, like fancy handwriting.
Find something, Britt?
Oh, hello, Sheriff. I was heading your way.
Yeah, I just saw Heavy. He told me you was in town. Did you find something?
I don't know. You see these hoof prints?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Don't mean nothing. Trail gives out a mile or so down the creek at the fork.
Uh-huh. Has Clay City had any other trouble lately yet?
No, not a bit. I guess any town's got to expect a hold-up once in a while, though.
No, I heard it was a little more than that.
Yeah, that's right.
Fred Wilmer able to talk yet?
Afraid not. Doc said he'd let me know first thing he'd come around. Took him out to his ranch.
You been out there to see him since last night?
Wasn't no reason.
Well, it might be a good idea to be there, just in case.
Thought maybe I ought to stick in town.
Oh, I don't think anything more is going to happen here, Ed. I'll get Scar and I'll meet you out at Fred's place. Huh?
I can handle this alone, Britt.
Oh, sure. I'll just offer to keep you company, Ed.
I'll meet you there.
He's all fixed up, Mr. Ponset. Tied him up around the side so he'd be in the shade.
Thanks, Heavy. Thank you.
Did you find Sheriff Schofield? I told him you was in town.
Yeah.
You figure out anything?
Not so far.
Oh, you will. Sheriff's a good man. Why, you and him together, you'll get whoever done it.
No, maybe so. You're the only blacksmith round here, ain't you, Heavy?
Only one for 40 miles.
Uh-huh. You ever see a horse with a shoe that's got one jagged edge, left hind leg?
A lot of shoes got jagged edges, Mr. Ponset.
Yeah, well, I'll show you what I mean. I ain't much of an artist. Now, here, it kind of looks a little like this.
Seems to me I seen a shoe like that just the other day. Oh, sure, I remember. Told him he ought to get a new one for it. Ben Schofield, that's who it was, just the other day.
Ben?
The sheriff's kid. You know him, don't you, Mr. Ponset?
Oh, sure. I ain't seen Ben in a couple of years, though.
Oh, you wouldn't recognize him if you did. He just sort of growed up overnight.
Yeah, I guess he has. first act of the six-shooter, folks. Hope you're enjoying the show. Before we get on with it, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I happen to be doing this program. I've been lucky enough to do quite a bit of radio acting before, but I've never had a program of my own. The right thing just didn't seem to come along, at least not until the six-shooter. You see, I've made several stories of this kind for pictures. That is, honest, legitimate stories of the West, and I hope that this series can offer the same type of enjoyment with the same integrity. We think it's the sort of program the whole family will enjoy, and we think that the character of Britt Ponsett typifies some of the greatness that built America. We'd be pleased if you agreed with us.
And now, Act 2 of The Six-Shooter, starring Jimmy Stewart.
Sheriff Schofield was sitting on Fred Wilmer's porch swing when I got there. The doc was inside with Fred, so I squatted down on the stoop and waited. About half an hour, the doc came out and told us we could go inside and see Fred. Fred was lying on a cot, breathing hard. The white cloth across his chest was stained pink, and his voice sounded like it was full of air.
We was just sitting in the express office talking, Sam and me. Didn't hear the back door open. Must have left it unlocked. Turned around, and there he was, holding his gun on us.
Did you get a look at him, Fred?
Handkerchief over his face, Sheriff. I couldn't see nothing. Just the gun. They told Sam to open the safe. There wasn't nothing else he could do.
Sure.
He took the money, walked over to the door,
Yeah.
looked at us for a minute, and then shot. Didn't have no reason. He hit Sam in the face and hit me in the chest. He didn't have no reason.
Take it easy, Fred. Take it easy now.
It's just like he enjoyed shooting at us. That's how it was, like he enjoyed it.
Maybe he was scared.
Oh, he wasn't scared, Sheriff. He didn't have no reason. Thought he killed us both. Then he started down the steps. I got my hand on the shotgun and let him have it.
You hit him?
I don't know. Maybe he gave a yell and rode off.
Uh-huh. What kind of a fellow was he? Was young, old?
I couldn't see his face. Young fella, I'd say, though.
How young?
17, 18, full grown.
Was he tall, short?
Medium. About the size of your kid head. About that size.
Got enough for you, Ed?
Yeah, that's enough.
You think you'll get him, Brett?
Sure, Fred. Sure. Come on, Ed.
Didn't have no reason to shoot, no reason.
Let's go, Ed.
We're wasting our time, Brett. He's got a day's head start. He'd be 40 miles from here.
Well, not if he's shot up.
Now, you go on if you want to.
Well, you're the sheriff. You've got to make the arrest.
You ain't never been so particular before.
Well, maybe not, but this time in particular. You coming?
We don't even know where to start.
Oh, I thought along the creek. That's as good a place as any other.
It's a waste of time, Brett.
Oh, we got time to waste. Come on, let's go. We picked up the trail along the creek headed west. It wasn't hard to follow, and every once in a while we'd see a few drops of blood spattered against the shrub bush. About 10 minutes later, we came to a fork where Ed had said the trail gave out. Scar stuck his nose down into the water, and I looked around. The trail didn't give out. It turned south. I nodded in that direction. Ed didn't say a thing. Just followed. And about 5 o'clock, we stopped to eat. El built a fire, and I opened up a couple of cans of beans I had in my roll. Oh, you ain't hungry, Ed?
It's early for supper.
Yeah. Ed, I talked to Heavy before I went out to Fred's place. I asked him who had a horse that would leave a mark like the one we've been following.
So?
And he said Ben did. Your son, Ben. I thought you ought to know that.
A lot of horseshoes leave the same kind of mark.
Fred said it was a young fella.
It wasn't Ben.
Where is he, Ed?
Jefferson's ranch, working on a roundup. He left Clay City day before yesterday. Couldn't be Ben. There's a lot of wild youngsters in these parts, but Ben's a good boy. Couldn't be him.
You sure?
That mark don't mean nothing. Plenty of horseshoes leave the same kind of mark. You know that, Britt.
You had enough to eat?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. The moon came out, thin, yellow. Not real bright, but enough so you could follow the trail. For about 3 miles, there wasn't no blood. He must have wrapped something around the wound. Wrapped it real tight. And then we found the bandage. A piece of shirt tail sopped through. For the next mile, he'd been bleeding a lot, worse than ever. He was hit pretty bad.
Looks like it.
He couldn't have gone much further because... Hold it, Scar. Ed.
Yeah.
Hold on. Over there in the gully, that cabin.
Yeah.
Whose is it?
Used to belong to Jake Levant. Died a couple of years ago. Ain't nobody living there now.
There's somebody living there.
Huh?
Out in back. There's a pony. Better go ahead on foot.
Britt,
Yeah?
we're going to take him alive, ain't we?
If we can.
We got to take him alive, Britt.
It's Ben.
I don't know, Britt. Not for sure.
It could be Ben.
It could be.
Where's he been the last couple of days?
I don't know that neither. Had an argument with him 2 nights ago. He needed some money. He'd been playing poker and lost a lot.
Well, 5,000's a lot.
I wouldn't give him none. He got mad, said he'd get it himself. And I hit him hard across the face. I hit him twice. He started to hit me back. Then he walked out of the house. I ain't seen him since. I wish he had hit me back.
Now, we got to get across that clearing, Ed. Over to that clump of trees.
He may see us.
Yeah, we'll have to take that chance. You ready?
Yeah.
You all right?
Sure.
We'll stay in these trees for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll rush him. Ain't gonna be easy to take him, Ed. Now that he's spotted us.
You ain't gonna kill him, Britt.
I ain't gonna let him kill me.
It ain't his fault, Britt. It's mine.
You know that ain't so.
No, it's the truth. It's my fault.
You didn't raise him to be a killer, Ed.
Maybe I did, Britt. I was the sheriff, seeing that everybody kept close to the line, seeing that everybody lived honest, especially Ben. I broke him, Britt. Broke him like you break a wild horse. I tried to take all the fight out of him fast. You know what happens when you do that to a horse? He gets tame, but the fight's still there, and someday he turns wild again.
I'll rush him alone, Ed.
No. Stay here, Britt.
Oh, Sam Norton's dead. Maybe Fred Miller, too.
Killing Ben won't bring him back. He's my son, Britt, my only son. You don't have no kids. You don't know.
I'm sorry, Ed.
No, we're going back to town.
Not without him.
We're going back. Now, you can outdraw me, Britt, but I'll still have time to get a shot off.
I'll try to get him alive, Ed. I'll try.
No, don't turn your back on me, Britt. Don't be a fool. Don't make me do it, Britt.
I wasn't being brave. I knew he wouldn't shoot. A man like Ed Schofield just don't change overnight. You can figure a man like Ed. That's what I thought, anyway. But I hadn't figured what would happen next. I haven't figured on him running out into the clearing, standing there in the moonlight, gray against the black sky.
Ben! It's me, Ben! You're dead! Can you hear me, Ben? Britt Ponson's coming after you. Throw out your gun, Ben. Britt Ponson's coming. Now listen to me, Ben. It's your death.
I saw him go down, real slow, like his legs had buckled under him. I couldn't tell how bad he'd been hit. rolled down a gully out of range, and I crawled forward. I pushed myself past a couple of rocks and head toward the back door. The kid was in the kitchen. I couldn't see him, but I could hear him moving around, going from window to window, looking out, waiting for me. I slid past another rock. I could run for the door or wait. The kid made up my mind for me. I slipped down fast, and the bullets nicked the rocks. The kid had good hearing. He knew I was right there. I took up my gun and waited. I knew he'd get nervous first. Young fellas always do. I wasn't so young. I could wait. It wasn't more than 5 minutes before the door started opening. His pony knew I was coming, too. He started for the horse. I aimed at his leg. For a second, he stopped moving and just hung in midair like a hawk. And he sprawled forward out of sight behind a log. I raised up a little and hunched myself along the side of the cabin. Everything was quiet now. Even his pony. The moon went behind a thick cloud, and I came around the corner of the cabin. Suddenly the moon came out again, just in time for me to see his .45, just in time to see him coming up over the top of the log. His revolver slipped out of his fingers, and I saw him trying to reach for it again. He couldn't make it. I stood up and walked over to the log. The kid was lying face down, gasping for breath, little short gasps. He pulled himself up onto the flat of his hands, and then he passed out. I turned him over with my foot, and I looked at his face. Ed?
Over here.
Where'd he get you?
In the shoulder. I'm gonna be all right. Britt, is he... Did you have to...
He ain't dead.
Thanks. I guess he didn't hear me calling to him. He didn't know who I was.
Ed.
What?
Ed, it ain't Ben.
What?
It ain't Ben, Ed.
You sure, Britt?
Yeah, this kid's got red hair.
There ain't no reason to lie to me, Britt. I ain't shot up bad.
I ain't lying. I knew it wasn't Ben while I was going up after him. I knew it.
What are you talking about?
Hey, just come to me. A man don't change overnight. Neither does a boy.
If it ain't Ben...
Lots of tough kids in these parts. You said so yourself.
Where do you suppose Ben is?
Where you said, Jefferson Ranch, working in the roundup. They pay good. No. A boy don't change overnight, Ed.
Huh.
You able to ride back to town?
Yeah, sure. I may have to take it a little slow.
I'll get the kid.
Britt.
Yeah?
You know something, Britt? I couldn't believe it was Ben neither. Not when he shot me. I just couldn't believe it. You know that, Britt?
I know it, Ed. I know it. Well, that was your first meeting with Britt Ponsett. I hope you'd like to meet him again every week. And I also hope you'll try our product. It's something I use myself, and it's never let me down. I don't think it'd let you down either. Maybe I'm not much of a salesman, but this product I don't think needs a lot of selling. As far as I'm concerned, it sells itself. So...
Don't you just love that show? That was The Six Shooter with Jimmy Stewart. And this is Starbuck, and you're listening to Western Wednesday on Antiquity Radio. And I've got a little story for you, folks. The late 40s and early 50s saw an increasing demand for syndicated radio drama, with the Federal Communications Commission having imposed a freeze on the issuance of new television licenses. Radio remained the major source of entertainment across small-town America well into the early 1950s, and local stations displayed an insatiable appetite for programming to make up for revenues lost by cuts in network compensation to affiliates. Producers of recorded programming therefore found it difficult to keep up with the demand for the new series. Hollywood was quick to take note of the thriving market, and an increasing number of big-name stars realized that there was fast, easy money to be made in syndicated radio. This led to a barrage of new series built around marketable celebrities, such as that spotlighted in this 10-hour collection, Frontier Town. Recorded in Hollywood in 1952 to 1953 and distributed by broadcast producer Syndicate, Frontier Town features up-and-coming action star Jeff Chandler in a role far removed from his best-known radio role as Mr. Boynton, the goofy biology teacher boyfriend of Eve Arden on Our Miss Brooks. Credited as Tex rather than Jeff, Chandler is heard here as Chad Remington, a tough but dedicated lawyer in the rough-and-tumble frontier town of Dos Rios. Chandler filled the lead role for 23 episodes before being replaced for the remainder of the series by veteran movie tough guy Reed Hadley. Remington fights for justice with the aid of his windbag, snake oil-selling sidekick Cherokee O'Bannon, portrayed in a voice redolent of W.C. Fields by character comedian Wade Crosby. The series was written and directed by Paul Franklin, taking a break from his usual role as a top radio comedy writer, and features original organ music by Ivan Ditmars and Bob Mitchell, with Bill Foreman announcing. This is the first episode, Return to Dos Rios. It did air originally on Friday, September 26, 1952. Thanks so much for listening to Antiquity Radio. Please enjoy this episode of Frontier Town.
Frontier Town, the saga of the Roaring West. Frontier Town. El Paso, Cheyenne, Powder River, Tombstone. Frontier Town. Here is the adventurous story of the early West, the tamed and untamed, from Cheyenne to Calgary, from Dodge City to Poker Flat. These are the towns they fought to live in and lived to fight for, teeming crucibles of freedom. Frontier Town!
Frontier town, huh? Yes, I guess that's what most folks would call Dos Rios. A frontier town. Loud and lusty. Tough and tumbling like a score of other frontier towns. El Paso, Cheyenne, Tombstone. The only difference probably is the name of the town. Dos Rios, that's Spanish for two rivers. My name is Remington, Chad Remington. Born in Dos Rios 20-odd years ago. And reared there until I went upstate to school to study law. And I wouldn't have come back, I guess, if I hadn't gotten word that my father was found murdered. Murdered in cold blood. So I threw a few things into a carpet bag, took the first stagecoach out of Denver, and then stretched my long legs by walking the familiar rutted street past the stores with false fronts. And the half-dozen saloons. Over to the white adobe house that belongs to Judge Fillmore and his daughter Libby.
I thought Father should have written you a letter, Chad. Still think it would have been easier on you since there was nothing you could do about it anymore.
You always wanted to let me down easy, Libby. The judge was right telegraphing me.
I was sure that's the way you'd feel about it, my boy.
Exactly what happened?
They found your father face down in the corral with an arrow between his shoulder blades.
Arrow?
It was an arrow, all right, Chad. Regular Injun arrow. Minute I heard, I rode right out to his ranch myself.
No Indians around Dos Rios? No bad Indians?
Folks around here don't think so. They blamed it on John Tallfeather, the Indian who used to work for your father.
John Tallfeather was as fond of my father as I am. What's more, John was a Choctaw, and Choctaws haven't used arrows since the Mexican Wars. Where is John? I'm going out and tell him I don't believe all that loose-mouthed gossip.
John Tallfeather's dead, Chad. They strung him up the same night your father was found.
Strung him up? Who strung him up?
A mob.
A mob headed by your father's own neighbors, Rafe and Breck Kincaid.
Kincaids? Oh, I should have known. This is no backwoods we're living in any longer. It may be the frontier, but it's the frontier of civilization.
I've heard you make that speech before, my boy. For all the good it does.
This country will never be anything but a lawless wilderness until men learn to respect the due processes of law. Why do they think I left the ranch and went off to school?
We know, Chad. We agree with you. But while there are people around like the Kincaids, what are you going to do?
I'm going to do something, and you can bet on that.
Now, don't go flying off the handle, young man. The Kincaids are gunfighters, both of them.
A lot worse than that if they lynched poor John Tallfeather. And if there's any law in this country at all, they're going to pay for it. If you and Libby will excuse me, Judge, I'll leave my bags here.
Of course, Chad, but where are you going?
To start with, down to the livery stable. I'm renting myself a horse.
Chad, not only can you have a horse and the best horse the livery stable provides, but you can have money in a bottle. What am I saying? And the shirt right off my back.
Cherokee, you haven't changed one bit. You sound just the way you did when I met you for the first time, peddling genuine Cherokee rattlesnake oil off the back of that big wagon.
Yes, Chad, you remember, don't you? Sirree. Now, if you just gather around closer, friends, I want to call your attention to this little preparation I hold here in my hand. This little bottle is sold regularly for $3 everywhere. Now, you want to know what this little article does, and I'm going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It removes warts, blemishes, bunions, and freckles. Cures colds, rheumatism,
Whoa there, you old horse thief.
Horsey?
Your Honor, I'll amend my complaint. I'll just make it Dr. Cherokee O'Bannon.
Thank you, counsel. Objections sustained. Come on, I'll get you a horse. Yes, indeed. One of the quietest, gentlest, broken-down hay burners have got for a fancy-pants city lawyer.
If you know what's good for you, O'Bannon, you won't call me Fancy Pants.
Don't worry, Chad. I've seen you ride. I've got a good nag for you. But do you mind, my boy, if
If what?
I'd like to ride along with you, if it's all right with you.
Well, come along, Cherokee. I'd enjoy having your company. Now, if you'll just get the horses, I'd like to be on my way.
Well, Chad, there's your ranch. You can see it right through them aspens. Hasn't changed much, has it?
No, not a bit. There's the creek and the cottonwoods where I used to swim when I played hooky from... Oh boy, hold it.
What's up? What's up? What's stopping for?
Unless I'm mistaken, and I don't think I am, someone's moved our wire. Our fence used to run along the other side of the creek up to that saddle rock.
Sure it used to. But it doesn't anymore. I thought you knew.
Knew what?
Well, last spring, there was a big rock slide right over there. Filled the old creek bottom with rocks and changed the course of the stream. So your father sold that little strip to Kincaid.
Are you sure, Cherokee? Because without water, there's a quarter of a section over here wouldn't raise gophers.
Now, the way I heard it, on account of you moving upstate to be a lawyer, your father was selling off his cattle. Didn't care about the water.
Selling off? What? Well, that's ridiculous. Wasn't a month ago, he wrote me to go over to the stock show at the Capitol and see if I couldn't find him a new Hereford breeding bull.
Wow. Well, I'll be a squaw Injun's off ox. Sure wouldn't be buying any bull if he was giving up ranching now, would he? Don't think he would.
Come on, Cherokee. Turn that pony around. We're riding over and paying a call on Rafe and Breck Kincaid.
Get around there, you long-legged, loose-jointed, shuffle-gussy. Come on, let's be on!
Neither Rafe nor Breck seemed surprised to see me. But they did seem a little shocked when I started to ask questions about this strip of land Cherokee said my father had sold them. Well, maybe shocked isn't the right word at that. They were indignant. Indignant and downright hostile.
You mean to say you think I'm lying, Remington?
I'm not meaning to say anything, Rafe. I just asked you and Breck a very simple question.
What do you mean, simple question? You asked us to show you the deed your old man signed when we bought that property from him.
I know what I asked, Breck, but I still have to see the deed.
Why, I got a good mind.
If you really had a good mind, Rafe, you wouldn't go reaching for your gun. I'm not wearing one.
Yeah, I forgot. You're the holier-than-thou gent who didn't like the way your neighbors ran your hometown. You went away to college.
Sure, he was too good for us.
I can force you to produce that deed, you know.
Oh, you can? Well, you wouldn't like to try it, would you?
I don't mean beat it out of you, although I believe I still could.
He believes he still could, Rafe.
Whether you two realize it or not, we have a court in this county. And I could make you produce the deed in court. I just didn't think that'd be a friendly thing to do.
You're not getting no place trying to butter us up with that friendly talk.
Ah, let it go, Breck. The deed's over in the table drawer. Get it and show it to Mr. High and Mighty.
I'd appreciate it very much if you would.
Your father would turn over in his grave. He knew what a dude he had for his son.
The less you two have to say about my father, the better off we'll be. All of us.
Here, look for yourself. That's the deed.
That's the deed, all right.
Well, now you satisfied?
Yeah, I'm satisfied. This signature's a forgery.
Why, you low-down mealy
Go on,
mouth.
Rafe. Squeeze trigger if you want to. I don't think even you would want to go into court for gunning down an unarmed man.
Yeah? Well, who's to say you weren't packing a gun?
Rafe's right. He's got me as a witness. You're a lawyer. You know what witnesses are, don't you?
Chad, you called me a liar. You said I forged that deed. Nobody calls me them names and goes on living.
And I imagine you've killed men for a lot less, too. Well, if you got the salt to shoot while I'm standing in front of...
What? Hey, what's...
Drop that gun, Rafe!
Rafe, it's Cherokee. Chad must have left him outside.
Yeah, I'd forgotten I had, but... Well, Rafe?
You gonna let that shooting iron go or not? The next one won't be just a warning. And even my Cherokee Indian rattlesnake oil never cured one from 5 bullet holes.
Go on, Rafe. Cherokee's got the drop on you.
That's better. Come on, Chad. It's time you were leaving.
You're right, Cherokee.
Go on, Slope. And the next time you come up here, I'm shooting you for trespassing.
Thanks for your advice, Rafe. And for your help, too. I'll be seeing you again. Soon.
Remington, next time I see you, you better be packing a gun. Because I will, and I'll be looking for you.
I intend to be looking for you, too. Both of you. Adios.
Doggone it, Rafe. If he goes around town and shooting off that big mouth of his...
Shut up, Breck.
Huh?
I ain't afraid of no man who's scared to pack a gun. He had his chance while he was here, and he throwed it. Yes, sir. I always knowed it. That one's yellow. Yellow clean through.
We'll return to the dramatic climax of Frontier Town in just about 1 minute. And now, Frontier Town.
Well, when we left the Kincaid's ranch, I was pretty firmly convinced that my father's signature had been forged on the deed under which the Kincaids claimed title to the creek and that strip of land around it. Cherokee and I pounded leather and left a trail of dust all the way from the Kincaids to Judge Fillmore's house in Dos Rios.
But, Chad, are you sure?
Why, Miss Libby, Chad's sure about this, and I am that my Cherokee Indian rattlesnake oil is an absolute and positive cure for 89 ailments of man. All the way from double pneumonia to hangnails.
I'm even surer than that. I'm as sure as anyone can be. Why, even seeing the deed for the few seconds I did, you couldn't miss the even pressure of the pen on the paper. And no one writing normally writes that way.
You mean to say it was traced?
And it was traced or copied or... I just know that my father didn't write it there himself.
I hate to sound like a judge, my boy, but do you think you're going to be able to prove it?
Well, Judge, I hate to sound like a lawyer, but I've either got to prove that or leave town.
Now, of course, I'm a doctor. Pardon the expression. Not a lawyer, but it seems reasonable and sensible to me, Chad, my boy, that we go down and have a little talk with the warden. I mean the marshal.
It isn't often that I can agree with someone in Dr. O'Bannon's profession, but this time I think he's right.
Well, Chad, if you'd like, we'll all go along with you. Look, Chad, the marshal must be in. That's his horse tied off in front.
Good, because I'm in no mood to waste any time.
You know what he means by that, Miss Libby? He's aiming on getting back upstate, not staying here.
Oh, Chad, not really.
I'm afraid so, Libby. This lynching, these threats from the Kincaids, nothing's changed here. It's still the same boisterous, belligerent frontier town.
Well, now, Chad, it's not as bad as all that.
Here, let me open the door for you. And if you don't mind, I'll wait for you here outside. I always feel a little strange when the door closes behind me in a marshal's office.
With what's on your conscience, I'm not surprised. After you, Libby.
Well, Chad Remington, I was expecting you'd come back to Dos Rios, but I'm downright sorry that it had to be under these circumstances. Oh, howdy, Judge, Miss Libby.
Hello, Marshal.
Marshal, Chad would like to ask you a few questions about his father's death.
My father's murder?
You're sure right about that, son. That locoed Injun hit him smack between the shoulder blades, like a target was painted there.
I suppose you know the Choctaws gave up bow and arrow fighting years ago, Marshal.
Of course they did. John Tallfeather reckoned that knowing it, we wouldn't blame it on him. But when I found that bow hidden under his bunk, I had him dead to rights.
You found the bow?
Well, I got it right here. There. That's the thing that done in your father.
Oh, thanks. Well, it takes a mighty strong man to bend this bow. John Tallfeather not only was old, but he'd been sick for years.
Well, he had enough strength left to pull it once.
Marshal, how is it since you found this evidence you didn't arrest John and bring him in here?
There was 3 or 4 boys with me when I rode out to your father's place, and then the Kincaid brother joined us. And, well, I reckon there's no reasoning with a bunch of angry men, especially when right's on their side.
In other words, you just stood aside, let him take your suspect and string him up?
Suspect nothing. I tell you, we had him dead to rights.
Well, you wouldn't have had him dead to rights in my court without more proof than that.
Oh, no use getting excited about it now, Judge. Did you find anything else that day, Marshal?
No, I can't say that. By cinders, I did bring something else in that you probably want. Your dad's belt, holster, and gun. I got him right here in the desk.
Yes, Marshal. I'd like to have his gun.
Well, here you are, son. And I hope you understand.
Yes, I'm starting to understand. A lot. I'll see you again soon, Marshal.
Come on, Libby.
Doggone it, Chad, I almost went in to get you. Guess who just rolled into town? Never mind, I'll tell you, Rafe and Kincaid.
Were they looking for me?
Could be, could be.
That's good. Very good.
Chad, you don't mean that you're going down
Make a
and
target of myself for him, Libby? No. But I am going to strap this on. Oh, now, don't look at me as though your eyes are going to pop out of your head, Libby. I'm fully grown now. I'm reasonably able to take care of myself.
Chad, you'll be careful.
I'm being doubly careful. I'm taking a bodyguard with me. If Cherokee and I find what I hope we'll find, you can get out your law books, Judge, because we'll be having a case for you to try in your court mighty soon. With the Kincaid brothers in town, it certainly seemed safe to go back out to their ranch. When we got there, I headed straight for the desk where the so-called deed was kept, while Cherokee started to ransack the rest of the house. Suddenly, I could hear Cherokee's heavy boots come pounding toward me from another room.
Chad! Hey, Chad, you certainly played the right hunch. Look here.
Where'd you find those, Cherokee?
In a bedroll in the back room. This is only a few of them. There must be 20, 30 arrowheads back there.
So John Tallfeather murdered my father, huh? Those filthy, cold-blooded swine.
Sure, the Kincaid's done. Hey, what's that you got there? That paper.
Enough with those arrowheads to put the noose around the Kincaids' necks. Here, see, they bought some land from my father, all right, but not the piece down by the creek. Here's the deed for 10 acres up on the north side next to their grove of jack pines. All they did was to copy his signature off this deed and trace it on the other.
Yeah. Even I can see the difference when they're side by side. Well, Chad, I suppose now you're going back into town and call them out, eh?
No, Cherokee, I'm not. I'm taking this evidence into the marshal and swearing out a warrant for their arrest.
Huh? Well, you sound like you've been drinking rattlesnake oil. Why, them two would never let themselves be arrested.
Oh, have they got everybody bluffed around here? Come on, Cherokee. We're getting back to town. Come on, Cherokee. There are only 2 places we haven't been to, and... Well, there are the Kincaid's horses tied up in front of the Lucky 7 casino. You see the brands, K-Bar-O?
You're darn right I do. Why, the bushwhacking buzzards?
Go fetch the marshal. I'm waiting here to make sure they don't get away. You can see them both from here, Marshal, at the faro table.
Well, doggone it, Chad. This ain't no time to try to haul them to jail. They've been drinking. And, well, them two is ornery enough cold sober.
I'm sorry you don't like your job, Marshal. But maybe if you liked it a little better, it wouldn't be necessary to do things like this here in Dos Rios.
No, you see here, Chad Remington. I don't take lip like that from no man.
You'll be taking a lot more than that if you don't get busy. Now, come on, we're going inside.
Well, but mark my words, we're not having no shooting scrapes.
Marshal, if I were you, I'd start moving.
Come on.
Just keep walking, Marshal.
I'm betting another 100. And if the house will take off the limit, I'll...
Sorry to interrupt your game, Rafe, But your luck's just run out anyhow.
Remember what I told you this morning? I said next time I saw you, I was gonna...
Rafe, I'm warning you. Don't try scratching leather.
Well, look who's here. The dude brought the law with him.
You want something, Marshal?
Well, Chad here sent for me. Says he's got some kind of proof. You killed his father.
So he thinks I killed his father, does he? Well, if I thought someone shot my father, I wouldn't need any lawman to take care of him.
We've got laws to handle things like that. They're plenty good enough for me.
Marshal, I got an idea.
I just bet he has. I just bet he has.
Since Chad wants us arrested, why don't you deputize him? Then, being the law he thinks so high of, he can take us down to the calaboose. If he thinks he can.
Rafe, now, I didn't come in here looking for trouble, and you being on the prod ain't helping me none.
Marshal, are you going to arrest the Kincaids?
Sure. But if they ain't gonna come peaceful, then, well, I'm going back and get me a couple of deputies.
All right, Marshal. I don't intend to tell you how to run your job. Go on. I'm going to stay here and wait for you.
Okay, Chad, but don't you go stirring up no trouble while I'm gone.
Him? Stir up trouble? Don't make me laugh.
That marshal's a card, ain't he? Real brave hombre. Couldn't wait to run out.
I didn't run out.
Remington, this morning you called me a liar and a crook. Now you come in here calling me a murderer.
That's right, Rafe. I called you a liar, a crook, and a murderer.
And we haven't even started yet.
Mister, I got only one thing to tell you. Go for your gun.
Sorry. That's one piece of advice I can't take.
You're right, Rafe. This Jasper's yellow.
Sure he is. Yellow. Clean through.
You're going to find out, Rafe, if I am or not.
Yeah? How? You gonna hit me with a wet handkerchief or something? You ain't got the salt to clear your holster.
The only time I draw a gun is in self-defense. I don't know why you don't fill your hand.
Why should I?
Well, because I called you a liar. I've called you a crook, and I'm calling you a cold-blooded, sneaking murderer. Why, even I wouldn't let a man call me that to my face. Go on. You got quite a reputation for slinging guns. What's stopping you now?
Blast you. Get out of here before I blow you out.
To blow me out, you'll have to draw, and I'm waiting. Rafe, I knew you were everything miserable a man could be, but I never thought you were as spineless as a gutless coward.
Why, you dirty...
And you let him go first, you still beat into the... Chad, duck, break behind you.
Throw down behind me, will you? Breck, drop that gun. Breck, drop it before I have to break you. All right, Breck. Now we don't need the marshal. The one Kincaid that's left is going to jail anyhow.
Well, Chad?
Well, Libby?
It's just that... Well, I hate saying goodbye.
I hate saying goodbye to, everyone?
Well, you will write, won't you?
Well, I might. Not that it'll do much good, I'm afraid, Libby.
Not that it'll do... Chad, what do you mean?
I always heard women knew everything by intuition.
You mean that there's someone else upstate? Someone you're going to marry?
Upstate? Now, who mentioned upstate?
But now, with Rafe dead and Breck Kincaid sentenced, you're leaving town again, aren't you?
Well, yes. I'm going about 12 miles out of town, Libby. I'm moving into my father's ranch.
Oh, Chad, you're not.
I sure am. Now, I guess there's enough trouble around Dos Rios for another good lawyer. Yep, Libby, I've come home.
Well, you ain't never going to get home if you don't get started, you sage-brush Romeo.
How about inviting me for dinner tomorrow night, huh?
Oh, Chad, of course.
Well, then, we'll be seeing you, Libby. Get started, Cherokee. We got miles to cover. Up there, boy. Make tracks. And don't forget, Libby, my weakness is apple pie.
Frontier Town, starring Tex Chandler, came to you from Hollywood. The series is directed by Paul Franklin and supervised by Joel Murcott. The music is composed and played by Bob Mitchell. Be sure to be with us again, this time 1 week from today, for another fine action-adventure story with your favorite young Western star, Tex Chandler. Frontier Town is a Bruce Ells production.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starbuck, and you're listening to Antiquity Radio. That was my new favorite show, Frontier Town. Moving in next, I've got for you an episode of Gunsmoke. It was the first show of the series. The show stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon. In the show, a Dutchman draws a lynch mob after a whole town accuses him of murder. It was a well-written story with a surprise ending. Georgia Ellis plays the widow of the dead man. Clay Richards is wanted for robbing a bank and for murdering an old cashier and a Chinese cook, and the Marshal of Dodge City is on his trail, only to find that Ziegler the Dutchman has already found Clay's dead body. To add to Dillon's troubles, he has a young runaway boy from Cottonwood to sort out, a boy by the name of William, otherwise known as Billy the Kid. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening to our special archival edition of Western Wednesday. This is Starbuck, and you're listening to Antiquity Radio. Enjoy the show.
Around Dodge City, in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers. And that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke. Gunsmoke, the story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. Wanted for murder.
Wanted for murder.
Clay Richards.
Clay Richards.
Age 31. Height 6 feet. Eyes brown. Hair red.
Eyes brown, hair red. Hey, how'd you like me to print his picture on these notices? I got a woodcut. Well, let me show you. Ernie!
Yeah?
That's your Marshal a copy of that front page. Interviewing Clay's wife yesterday, I noticed a tintype on the mantel, their wedding photograph. So, first thing you know, I snitched it.
It's very thoughtful.
Yeah, I'll take it, Ernie.
Here.
And then I propped it up in front of me and carved me this woodcut. Ain't she prime? Ain't she just elegant?
Real elegant.
Good likeness, don't you think? Of course, he was 7 or 8 years younger with the tintype.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
likeness.
his hair short.
Doesn't show what makes a law-abiding man like him try to rob a bank. Doesn't look like a man who murdered an old cashier and a Chinese cook who just happened to be
Sure
there.
sweated over it, though.
But it's a good likeness.
Yes, sir, it is. A picture like this sure dresses up the front page, don't it?
Yeah, it's a little masterpiece, Mr. Hightower, a notable contribution to the culture of Dodge City.
Well, thank you, Marshal. Does fetch the eye, don't it? I'm printing an extra 500 copies of the weekly, and I bet I sell them all. Too bad the cashier's shot went wild. If he'd managed to kill Clay or even wing him, why, I bet I could sell 1,000 extra copies.
We must be thankful for the blessings we do receive, Mr. Hightower.
Oh, I am, Marshal, I am. Why, just before it happened yesterday afternoon, I didn't know what I was going to fill my columns with, and then, like manna from heaven, 2 murders and a bank robbery.
Attempted bank robbery, Mr. Hightower. He turned and ran before he got his hands on so much as $1.
Yes.
Still as you say, like man.
Dillon,
I'm talking business. What is it, Chester?
Well, it can wait, I guess, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah, print Clay's picture on those notices, Mr. Hightower. Now, where were we?
Eyes brown, hair red.
Oh, yes. Also known as Red, Bricktop, and Sorrel. He didn't answer to no other nicknames, did he?
No, that's what they called him.
All right, then in big letters, $400 reward. Dead or alive. And at the bottom, apply Matt Dillon, Marshal, Dodge City. Print 200 copies. How soon can I send Chester over for him?
This afternoon.
Good morning, Mr. Hightower. Chester.
Think those posters will do any good? Richards is probably over the line into Oklahoma or Colorado by now. That strawberry roan of his is the fastest in the county.
He has no money. He panicked and ran out of the bank before he got a penny. I think he'll try to get help from his wife or brother or a friend the first chance he has, maybe tonight. I say he's around here somewhere. I'm sorry I turned on you like that, Chester.
Why, that's all right, Mr. Dillon. Out all night with a posse, no sleep, man's bound to get touchy.
No, it's not that. It's the way... It's the way people use a thing like this. The men riding posse last night, they enjoyed it as though they were hunting fox or possum. Hightower back there, he acts like it was a birthday treat, specially gotten up for him. Everybody finds a way to use it. What was it you wanted to tell me?
Oh, I got a kid, a little boy, locked up in the cell. Run away from home back in Cottonwood. Ed Slade turned him over to me when he come through on the stagecoach just now. Kid about 12 years old.
Whose is he?
Widow woman, Miss Bonnie. She runs a boarding house in Cottonwood. Ed says kid's always running away a little while, I guess. He flagged Ed for a ride on the road halfway between there and here. Soon as Ed seen him stand there with his bundle on his shoulder, he knowed what he was up to. So he told the kid he'd help him and then turn him over to us when he got here.
All right, we'll send a telegram to the mother to come fetch him. Well, come on in, Chester, and shut the door.
Mr. Dillon?
You're letting in every horse fly in Kansas.
Mr. Dillon, I think you better cancel the order for them notices.
What?
The Dutchman's coming up the street, and he's leading a strawberry roan, and Clay Richards is draped across his back.
Like a sack of wheat across the saddle. Last time I saw him, 2 days ago, he was standing at the bar laughing his head off. A sack of wheat across the saddle. And followed by half the saloon bums and loafers in town. All right, Chester, make him keep back.
All right, now stand back, you fellas. Come on now, back. Stand back.
Ziegler? How'd it happen, Ziegler?
My goat, my old Billy goat, he pushes open the fence last night and runs away.
Forget your goat. What about Clay?
Yeah, I tell you. This morning I go to look for a goat. I walk here, there. Near the river, I see Clay. He sits there. I say, hello, Clay. Wie geht's?
You dirty Dutchman. You know the dog. Clay was your best friend. He helped you buy your farm, so you kill him for him.
All right, all of you. Keep back, everybody.
Clay? Me? No, my brother, he was like... We was in the war together. But listen.
You killed him for the war.
Not so. I killed nobody. Not since Gettysburg. Clay is dead already when I find him. I don't even own a pistol.
Ziegler, inside, quick.
Yeah.
Chester, give me a hand with Clay.
All right, all of you. Listen up. Shut up!
I will not tolerate a disturbance. You know me. I got him, Chester. Take his leg. All right, kick the door shut.
Marshal, I don't kill Clay.
On this table, Chester. What'd you do with Clay's gun? His holster's empty.
Gun? Clay's? I ain't got it. I don't even own one.
Chester, see if it slipped out. while
His
we were-
holster was empty coming up the street. First thing I noticed. Maybe it's over on the...
Another customer? Why, that's 3 in less than a day. Oh, bountiful harvest. My fees this month will keep me in luxury. In luxury.
Doc, I want to have an inquest as soon as possible.
Well, as soon as I finish the autopsy, shouldn't take long with the practice I've had this week, huh? No. Late afternoon all right with you? I'll take him up to my office right now. No, thank you, Chester. I can carry him all by myself here. You just open the door there like a good fella and... Yeah, Marshal, tell the city fathers I'd like to make a deal when the corpses are as famous as this one. Back in 53 in San Francisco, a fellow I knew earned a fortune exhibiting the head of Joaquin Murrieta. Tell them if they'll let me keep the remains, I'll do the autopsies for nothing.
Shut the door, Chester. Ziegler, where is it you met Clay on the river?
By the fort. This side by the fort.
Ride out there, Chester, and see if you can find Clay's gun. Maybe he dropped it when he was shot.
I did not shoot Clay.
Sure.
I did not. I had no reason to. I did not.
Now, you listen to me. Maybe you think Dodge has got so big I don't know about everything that goes on here. Well, if you do, you're wrong. If you think I don't know about the bank having an overdue mortgage on your farm, you're wrong. $400 is reason enough for a struggling farmer like you.
No. Could not do such a thing. I am a human being.
To a peace officer, Ziegler, that's enough grounds for suspicion. But whether you did it or not will be decided at your trial. In the meantime, you just stop yammering about it.
Trial? Me?
Even when I shoot somebody, I stand trial. If they find it's justifiable homicide, and they probably will, Clay being a wanted man, then they'll let you off. And if not...
Please, I am permitted to go now.
Go. Are you crazy?
I found this stock. I must look after it.
You sit right down. You want to be lynched? You're trying to get yourself murdered? Have you forgotten about Clay's brother, Adam?
Adam would not believe I shot him.
What difference does it make whether he believes it or not? His brother's been killed. Everybody's looking to him to do something about it, and he knows it. You want me to guess where he is right this minute? He's in one of them saloons lapping up courage to come in here and ask me to give you to him for a present. You want to know who's with him? Every loafer, every bum, every slob in town. Slapping him on the back and telling him what a shame it is. Taking him on to kill you so that they can have some excitement and some fun. Well, maybe you deserve killing, but it's my job to uphold the law, and I'm not letting you out of here.
What? I tell
You
you
might
that...
spend your time trying to think up a better story. That is, if you intend to stay in this town. All right, now think back. Didn't Clay go for his gun before you shot him?
I tell you, I didn't. If I'm not under arrest, you have no right to keep me here. I got to look after my farm. I go.
All right, Chester, lock him up.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon. Come on now, Ziegler.
Help me, senor. Help me, senor.
Step out, Sonny. This cage is bespoke.
Who's in there, Chester?
That little old runaway from Cottonwood?
Oh. Yeah, come over here, son. Come over here to me.
I know who you are.
You do you?
You bet. You're Matt Dillon.
I'm guilty.
I knowed you right off. You just pointed out to me one day back home. Filler says you was the fastest gun thrower in Kansas.
Wyatt Earp wouldn't be awful interested to hear that, I'm afraid.
Filler says you was faster than Older. Faster than Wild Bill Hickok in Hays City and Bat Masterson or any of them. How many fellas have you killed?
You don't keep score, son. It's something you try to forget.
Not me. Someday I'll be famous like you, and for every filler I kill, I'll put a notch on my gun. People will see those notches, and they'll know they better not try.
Why'd you run away from home, Bub? Don't you know your mother's likely to worry about you?
Oh, she won't worry. She's too busy working. You ain't gonna make me go back, are you? You wouldn't do that, would you?
Well...
Because it wouldn't stop me for long. I'd only run away again.
Oh, where are you off to in such a sweat?
Oh, Texas, California, Mexico. Fella can accomplish things there, not like living in old Cottonwood. If you let me go, someday when I'm famous, you can tell people you helped get me started.
Well, that's a pretty strong inducement. I'll have to think about it for a while. And, look, while I'm making up my mind, I want you to give me your word. Word of a man who'll be famous someday that he won't try to run away from me. Otherwise, I'll have to have Chester lock you up again.
Oh, I'll shake on that.
Good. Chester, I want you to go look for Clay's gun.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
And on the way, stop off and send that telegram. You know?
Hmm? Oh, that telegram. Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon. I'll do
Where's
that right-
Ziegler?
It's all right, Chester. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
Where's that murdering dog? Oh, there you are, you...
Not a
know-
single step further, Adam.
I want him, Dillon. He murdered Clay, shot him down without giving him a chance.
How do you know?
Because Clay wouldn't have let anyone catch him off guard except a friend. A friend. And now, Dillon, give me that Dutchman.
Try to take him.
Just like that?
It's like that.
And it's true what the fellas say. You made a deal with the Dutchman to give him the reward and to protect him if he'd kill Clay for you.
That was the deal, was it?
Yeah.
The fellas say why I'd make such a deal?
Dillon, it ain't no longer a secret around town that you and Francie want each other. But Clay was in the way. You had him killed so you could get his wife. Do you deny it?
No. It'll serve as well as any other crazy story. It'll work you up.
You think you're safe behind that star, don't you? Well, Clay had friends, lots of them. I'm coming back with them friends, and we'll get the Dutchman and you and anyone else who tries to stop us.
All right, Adam. I'll be waiting.
Yeah. You wait.
I almost seen something pretty just then, didn't I, Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, almost. About another pint of whiskey ought to do it.
We will return for the second act of Gunsmoke in just a moment, but first, many radio shows win high popularity with the prizes and cash they give away, but there's one show that's tops because the head man gives away as little as possible. What other radio program could it be but the Jack Benny Show? So be listening. And now, with William Conrad starred as Matt Dillon, here's the second act of Gunsmoke.
Son?
You say something, Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, open that drawer in front of you there. You'll find a small bottle of oil in there. No, the one to the right. Yeah, that's it. Now, bring a little brush, too, huh?
Here it is.
Thanks, bub.
It's a right nice gun you have.
Yeah, it's not bad, but a little stiff. Just a little stiff.
Don't it have a trigger? I never seen no gun without a trigger before.
Oh, you remove the trigger or tie it back against the guard. And all you have to do is thumb a hammer. Yeah, like that. It's faster. Yeah, that's better now.
Remove the trigger. I remember that.
What in the world for?
Well, I remember everything you told me. About the Texas holster and the spring holster and the double roll and filing off the sight.
It's just me, Mr. Dillon.
Oh, any luck, Chester?
No, sir, not any. I went to the store first and asked Mr. Denton what kind of ammunition Clay Richards used to buy, and he told me Clay had a double-action .44. I scoured that riverbank a half-mile each way from the ford, and not a sign of it.
Yeah.
I got that telegram off. You know who ought to be here pretty soon. Only 7-8 miles from...
Is that a fire in town?
Funeral services for Mr. Grinnell, the cashier.
So soon?
It's awful hot weather.
Yeah. Any of your guns need oiling, Chester?
I don't think so.
You sure? When Adam left, he said he'd be coming back with some friends.
I know. I stopped at the Oliver Gantry just now to rinse out my mouth. Adam was there talking mighty ugly and mighty big. He's got a sizable following.
When do you think?
Any minute now, Mr. Dillon. Want me to take Bob out of here to one of the hotels, maybe?
I want to see
No,
it.
I think you'll be safer here, Chester, behind stone walls and dodging about the streets rubbernecking.
You keep your head down, Sonny. You hear? There's a...
Matt, I gotta talk to you.
She ought to be in mourning. If she cared for Clay at all anymore, she ought to be in black.
Matt,
Oh, Lord, I find her more beautiful all the time.
Matt, have you heard what they're saying?
What are they saying, Francie?
That you and me, that you made Pete Ziegler kill him because of...
I'm sorry that got back to you, Francie.
It's all over Dodge. Adam almost strangled me before they dragged him off.
Francie, I didn't shoot Clay. Francie, I beg you believe me.
Shut up, Ziegler. Shut up or I'll club you to death.
Francie, it's just one of those crazy stories. They needed one and they made one up.
But, Matt, everyone believes it. On my way down here, people were pointing, whispering. Old women clucking their tongues at me. They believe it.
They'll forget it as soon as this is over. They'll remember that even if we once did go with each other, it was finished and done with even before the war ended, before you even met Clay.
No, they won't forget it. For the rest of my life, as long as I stay here.
Hold it a minute, Francie. Yeah, Doc, what is it?
Oh, am I interrupted?
What is it, Doc?
Autopsy's finished. I examined his liver and lights. His
This
third-
is Mrs. Richards, Doc.
Oh, I beg your pardon, ma'am. I'm sure I meant no disrespect for the departed.
Well,
Clay was shot all right, but from the nature of the wound and the coagulation of the blood, I'd say it happened sometime yesterday. I'd say the cashier's bullet didn't go wild after all.
how could a dead man gallop away?
Well, the wound wasn't what killed Clay. The ball hit the rib cage and bounced off. 22 caliber it was. What did kill him was the stab in the back, right through the spine, inflicted sometime this morning. Now, near as I can judge, by a small blade, 2 or 3 inches long. It could have been a Barlow knife.
Thanks, Doc.
Please accept my condolences, Mr. Richard. You call the inquest anytime you're ready, Marshal.
Chester, close the door.
You see, I didn't do it. I didn't shoot him.
All right,
I told
then you
that
stabbed him, maybe. You said you never carried a gun.
Look, Francie, go home and give matters a chance to simmer
Matt,
down.
I'm going to ask you for something.
Yeah?
Turn Pete Ziegler out into the street.
What? Francie, they're itching to get their hands on him.
Let him have him. It'll prove that story's a lie, that you didn't make a deal with him. Please, Matt, I have to live here. Clear me, I have to live here. Matt? Matt. Don't look at me like that.
Go home, Francie. Go home or leave town or hang yourself or anything you like. Just go away. Away! Right now.
I bought me a bottle at the Alafragans, Mr. Dillon. Would you care for a drink?
No.
Guess the funeral's over.
There'll be others.
Funny. No, I missed that bell. Awful quiet, ain't it? It's just...
Just about on schedule. Are you ready, Chester?
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
I use a shotgun if I were you. It's more effective when there's a mob to be dealt with.
Oh, yes, sir, I aim to.
Ziegler, and you too, son. If trouble starts, lie down flat on the floor and keep your head down all the time. Don't gawk to see what's happening. You understand me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
All right.
Dillon! Come on, Dillon!
Chester, I want you to stand here in the doorway after I go out, where you can cover the back door and me at the same time.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
All right, Chester. Open the door.
Come on now.
It's my duty to warn all of you that you're in the breach of the peace. I've sworn to uphold the law. I've killed men in order to do it, and I'm prepared to do so again.
Give us a Dutchman, Dillon.
Men! I ask you to be sensible and to leave quietly. But if you refuse to listen to reason, if you insist upon being fools, if you've already decided to act like wolves instead of humans, then there's nothing I can say to make you change your minds.
A Dutchman.
All right, you want Peter Ziegler? Well, he's not more than 20 feet behind me, so come on and get him, any of you. One at a time or all at once. Come on. Which one of you wants to die first? You? You? You, Adam? Well, what do you say, Adam? You let him here. Don't let this star on my coat stop you. Come on. There, I'm not wearing it now. Well, come on, draw at him, draw!
You all right, Mr. Dillon?
Yeah. Get his gun.
Man alive, I couldn't even see your hand move.
Marshal! Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell
Doc,
me.
you make one single funny remark and I'll knock you down. You just take him to your office and get to work.
Well, I never do mean to offend, Marshal. In my line of work, well, bodies, they're just so much lumber.
Make all the jokes about him you please, but not to me and not in my hearing. In my line of work, there's nothing humorous about death. Give him a hand, Chester.
No, I can handle it, Marshal. Thank you. Thank you, just the same.
Can you direct me to the marshal's office?
Yes, ma'am, right here. I'm Marshal Dillon.
Well, I left Cottonwood as soon as I got your telegram. I'm Miss Barney. Where's my boy?
Oh, we have him, ma'am, safe and sound. Here, let me help you down. Hitch that horse, Chester. Right this way, ma'am.
Oh, I'm so sorry he put you to all that trouble, Marshal. The truth of the matter is he's a wild one and no mistake. Takes after his father, one scrape after another.
He was no trouble at all. I enjoy children. I like to have them around. Bob? Bob, your ma's here. Son? Chester, where's the boy? Did you let him slip past you?
No, sir, Mr. Dillon. He never got past me. Look, the back door's open.
He seen me and he hightailed it, the devil.
We'll round him up for you, ma'am. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't know why I bother hauling him back. If he's run away once, he's run away 1,000 times. This time he ran because I wouldn't buy him a gun. He wanted a real one. That boy's just gun crazy, I swear. I got him a nice Barlow knife instead.
Barlow
I
knife?
reckon it didn't signify, and off he runs.
Barlow knife?
A kid. Chester, find that kid.
Marshal, has he done something bad with it? I told him to use it careful. He promised he'd use it careful.
No, never mind, Chester. He's got Clay's strawberry roll, and we'd never catch up to him.
I try to bring him up right. I tell him to be good, but he don't listen. He just don't listen.
Now, calm yourself, ma'am. Just calm yourself.
Here's his little bundle, Mr. Dillon.
What? Yeah, give it to me. It's pretty heavy. Here, you're better at knots than I am. Open it, will you?
The moment he was born, he's been nothing but tribulation to me.
Now, please, ma'am. What's he got in it, Chester?
Shirt, stockings, piece of sausage, and this.
44 double action.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon. That's Clay's gun. Sonny didn't manage to keep it long, did he?
Well, if he wants a gun that bad, he's bound to get hold of another one somewhere, somehow. Chester, call Mr. Hightower over.
Hey! Hey, Mr. Hightower! Oh. Come on over. Mr. Dillon wants you.
Marshal, could I have at least a drink of water?
What? Oh, Ziegler, I forgot all about you. Chester, where are the keys?
Yeah, right there on the desk.
Oh. There we are. It'll be safe for you to go home now.
I can go back by the farm.
Yeah, that's right. I'll send for you for the trial.
Oh, danke schön. Danke schön.
Watch where you're going, you dumb...
Bitte, excuse me. Bitte.
Yes, Marshal.
Mr. Hightower, it appears that we can do business after all. Get some paper and a pencil. I want some notices printed.
Fire away.
Wanted for murder.
Wanted for murder.
What's the boy's name?
Bonnie. William Bonnie.
William Bonnie.
William Bonnie.
Age 12. Height about 5 feet. Hair light, eyes blue. I don't suppose he's known by any other name.
I know. Everybody just called him Billy. Or the Kid.
Also known as Billy. The Kid.
Gunsmoke, under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was specially written for Gunsmoke by Walter Newman, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in tonight's cast were Don Diamond, Parley Bear, Harry Bartell, and Howard McNear, with Richard Beals, Paul Dubov, Georgia Ellis, and Mary Lansing. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke. Those longtime favorites, Amos and Andy, are rising to new heights in their CBS radio series on Sunday nights. Heard on most of these same stations, Amos and Andy find trouble as constantly as ever and make it just as funny and as human as they have for more than 20 years. Be sure to hear Amos and Andy this Sunday, won't you? Right after the Jack Benny Show. This is Roy Rowan speaking. And remember, there's fast, funny quizzing on The Bob Hawk Show every Monday evening. This is the CBS Radio Network.
Around Dodge City and into territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers. That's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Starbuck with Antiquity Radio. I just wanted to thank you one last time for joining us for our special archival edition of Western Wednesday. We will be back next Wednesday with the continuing episodes of these shows. In the meantime, make sure to look us up at www.antiquityradio.com. I'm your host, Starbuck, and I would really appreciate it if you'd go to that website, donate a few dollars with the PayPal button there. It really helps reduce our costs. And until next time, thanks so much for listening to Starbuck on Antiquity Radio. This is Starbuck signing off. Good night.